A good morning to you. Today is grey and it's once again going to be very windy. You'll find me in the Narborough churchyard to start the Nar Valley walk, simply because I can park outside and I shall walk a couple of hundred metres down the road to where the next stage of the walk, which is from Narborough through to West Acre to Castle Acre. Time's a bit short today, so I'm not quite sure how far I'm going to go, but one thing for certain, I have my coffee supplied by simplyjustcoffee.co.uk. Check those guys out. I have my cake as well, so we'll find a nice place to have those. Looking at the church, it was built circa 1400 and renovated in the late 18th century. Inside you will find there's 6 wonderful stained glass windows depicting local lady Dame Agatha. So I'm ready to go. Yeah, we'll go out of the churchyard, turn left, and we'll catch the sign and we'll continue on the Nar Valley Way. So it's going to be a good walk, not a particularly long walk, but it's going to be a good walk, and we'll see what we can find on the way. Okay, let's go. So there's the public footpath sign, so let's go down and find out where that's going to go. Nice chalk wall on either side. We have the church on the left hand side with the flag of UK. No, it isn't. It's the George's flag. Must get that right, otherwise it's criticised. Then on the right hand side we have the Union Jack flying inside the yard. I've just realised this is a public footpath, but actually it's the Nar Valley Way. So I'm going to turn back and go further down the road. Part of the trout farm is this trout ladder, so you do get the trout coming out of the River Nar, and obviously they do eventually come back to lay their eggs, and this will help them to get back to their breeding ground. So we're almost off the road now, going to the next part of the Nar Valley. You can see the sign there, so we'll see how this goes. I think the route will be rather overgrown unless they've cut it. It was the last time I came down here, but we'll just see how it goes. But it is quite a pleasant spot. The path is rather overgrown, and as you can see from some of these plants here, in fact as tall as me, so I'm having to sort of hack my way through it. But we do have the river immediately beside us, and but that is running quite nicely this morning. So this is an interesting aspect of the river walkway, because we've got the A47 that is now over the A47, and you can see in front is the River Nar. But the thing is that when they built the bridge, they didn't realise how small the space was underneath the bridge, so consequently you do have to bob down, and it is a bit echoey, and if you're quite tall then you might end up with a bad back by the time you come out the other side. One side is taller than the other. This is the shortest part, and so there we go, we've come through the other side, and what a sight to be seen. Isn't that just absolutely wonderful? Luckily we're getting away from the A47 now, and we are in a wooded area, as you can see, and as we go further from the coniferous trees into the pine woods, it will get quieter and it'll become darker, but at least we're out of the wind now, which is quite pleasant. This is a really fantastic point. It's now getting really quiet, but you'll see that river flowing quite nicely past me, and it is crystal clear. It's going to be good. So we've just come out of the wooded area into a little opening, which is all rather nice, but unfortunately we do have the noise of the RAF planes flying, which can spoil the atmosphere a little bit. But so yeah, we go through that little opening and then we go back into the narrow path straight into the wood. Lovely honeysuckle, the scent from that is just unbelievable. And then we've got the blackberries there in flower, and come past here in the late September, that'd be gorgeous. And then look at the beautiful pink flowers here, it's absolutely gorgeous. Here's an interesting little bridge. I wonder how safe that actually is. There, it's a bit rotten there. Be a bit careful because there's water and mud. You have to watch out for the tree roots as well. So you have to all the time be looking where you're going. Look at that gnarly tree. It's interesting how that has grown. And then this one over here. Ah, some wildlife. Another interesting little bridge, but I'm more interested in how those trees have grown. Just be careful how I go over here. Watch the tree roots. There's another gnarly tree. Wonderful. Okay, so we've found another waymark. Slightly confusing, although it says Nar Valley Way that way. There is a big arrow pointing that way. But I'll keep the Nar Valley Way because that's what we're doing, and I don't really fancy my chances over that little footpath. The winds that we've been having have some devastating effect, as you can see. It's taken this tree down. We've got to climb over it. This is quite nice. It's all overgrown. It's a bit like going back in historic times, just waiting for the dinosaur to roar in the background. Hear the birds now, which is good. Another tree here that's been blown down. I think that's been down for some time. But there's another path here over the bridge. Have to stick to that because looking down there it's all rather muddy. So yes, we just continue to follow the path. It's not level, but it's good. The path is overgrown again, so this bracken is nearly as tall as me. Not that I'm very tall. We're on the Fountain Estate, and over there, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a folly hidden away in the trees. And then if we pan all the way round above the bracken, you should be able to see on the horizon a Grade 1 listed country estate. That's owned by the Fountain family, which was actually first built in 1751. So as I said, it's Grade 1 listed. It's not open to visitors, but there's a substantial park where they hold summer events, small music events, that sort of thing. So it's all very interesting, but that is Narford Hall. So that's where we've just come from, although there's no signpost. Actually, there is a signpost. That's all that's left of it. So now coming out here, turning left, a little bit up the road there, and immediately turn right, heading towards West Acre. Let's do this. There are many country footpaths around here, and that's just looking at the map, which takes you through to West Acre, Castle Acre. But it is actually glorious countryside. It's very open at the moment. On a summer's day, you get that field full of poppies, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So we'll carry on, just a slight incline here, but nothing too much to worry about. Come to a bit of a crossroads here. There's a path go over that way, but I think the Nar Valley carries on down here. But the confusing thing is there are two sides there. The Nar Valley one, the other one is a permissive footpath. So we'll carry on down here. The wind is picking up again. I hope you can still hear me. And yes, my hat is still on. That's the track we've just come down from Narford Hall, which you saw earlier. And we are on the right way, according to that sign. So we now continue over the road into West Acre. Lovely little buildings in there. So just coming into West Acre, well actually on the outskirts, it's only a small hamlet. You can see there's the old post office there, and just look at this fantastic building, and that's the new post office over there. Look at the thatch on that. That is an estates office. That's the West Acre Farm Estates. What a gorgeous property that is. And then we pan round to the West Acre Church. Again, that goes back to 14th century, and you can see there are two sections to that. So the one on the right hand side, that was the original archway to the church circa 13th century, and then the one to the left hand side was built later. And we have some wonderful porcelain poppies. Isn't that just absolutely fantastic? So we'll continue with the walk, reaching the halfway point very shortly, and then that'll be time for the coffee and the cake. As I said earlier, the coffee is being supplied by Simply Just Coffee. Google them and have a look. Great company. So that's where I've just come down from, the small hamlet of West Acre, and now we're moving into the way towards Castle Acre. Lovely little pub there, only opens at weekends though. So this is a beautiful little spot. It's called the Stag, as you can see from that sign. Like I say, it only opens at weekends. And so we're now going to make our way down that little track there. You can see, well, it says alleyway, but of course I think that growth need removing. So we'll go down here a little way, and then that will bring us to the end of the walk for today. This is absolutely gorgeous, especially on a sunny day. So quiet, no cars about. Yeah, it's just great. So we'll continue now along this narrow footpath here. Unfortunately, the nettles have kept away from the path. Oh, I nearly fell down there. Just along here, the track comes to a ford, because this used to be a right of way for cars and tractors. Then the Green Lane boys in their Land Rovers started to use it quite extensively, and so the West Acre estate had to put locks on the gates because it was being badly eroded and lots of it was not accessible by foot. But luckily that's now changed. So you can now see the West Acre Ford. Absolutely gorgeous spot when the sun is shining. So that's the end of today's walk. Although it was a short one, it was quite interesting. Quite a lot of history on the way, and I'll be doing some more walks soon, so catch me on those. Please look at my YouTube videos and subscribe. Also Google Simply Just Coffee, because they are
the sponsors of this event. So enjoy the rest of the day, and I will catch you sometime in the future. And thanks for watching. Bye.